Mr. Poo Poo Pee Pee?
How do you know my name?
No, I think you told me before the interview.
I'm not sure I remember giving, but we'll go by poo poo pee pee if that makes you feel better.
Okay. So, how's your childhood growing up?
My childhood was different, okay? Because I was homeschooled. I didn't go to school like a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't go to school, but it's very high education. I'm very,
What type of stuff did you learn?
physics, stuff like that, math, reading and writing.
Can I ask what kind of physics?
Yes, you can.
Um,
Oh, you're asking me a question. Okay,
yeah.
well, like E equals MC squared, for instance. Can you conceive that? Can you even get that through your brain? Because a lot of people they see that all the time, and Albert Einstein once said E equals MC squared, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's that saying is E equals MC square. And they're not talking about a square like that. That it's very deep, and I'm not sure that you comprehend exactly what that means because it's in everyday life. Okay, you're always thinking to yourself when most people are thinking. A lot of people don't think at all. They just go through life not even thinking. But for instance, E equals MC squared. Can you even comprehend that like in daily life? You know what I'm saying? Like say for instance, you're fishing, okay? Now you're catching a lot of fish, but the other guy's not catching fish. Why? Because number one, you're using worms, and number one, he's using a fishing lure, and he might ask you, what are you using for bait? And you tell him worms, and he's not thinking in his mind E equals MC squared, and he's using a fishing lure. But does he switch bait? No, he does not, and therefore he does not catch any fish. That's your square right there. That's the square part of it. And that's just how it is. Some people. I'm not saying they're not intelligent people, because there are a lot of intelligent people out there, but they're not getting the whole concept.
Okay, so have you ever heard the phrase "it is what it is"?
Yes. Now that's. I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people don't think about this, but with the political agenda that's on today and all the troubles that are going around in the world. Let me ask you something. What the first word is what? It. And then what is the second word?
Is.
Is, that's correct. And what is the last word?
Is.
Right. And now if you put the second word and the last word together, what is it?
ISIS.
ISIS, that's correct. Now this is where the E equals MC squared comes in, because they say that they're looking for people and stuff, and it's not good. None of it's good. But here again, you're using E equals MC squared. Now you take square is a number 2, right? So then you got number 2, okay? That's square. But I'm going to try to explain this, and I want you to keep an open mind. Now, since it's square, just like the fishing lure thing, you got is the second word. Now that's square. E equals MC square, and the last word is square. Like number 2, but you reference back to the number 2, and the last word is, and it says ISIS. Is that what it means? I don't know. Okay, I'm not a nuclear physicist. I had a childhood education at home. All right, I'm just homeschooled, so I don't know. I'm not Albert Einstein, but I've been breaking this formula down for years now, and that's the kind of what it tells me. If you go square, that's what it says. And could it be? Is it possible that maybe when aliens came here, we have to ask ourselves, could this be some ancient alien formula for this, and this is how the world is supposed to transcend? I don't know this. I don't know anything. I'm just saying E equals MC squared. Maybe the aliens told that to Albert Einstein one time. You know what I'm saying? And he took the formula and he broke it down. You know what I'm saying? And so, therefore, using E equals MC squared pretty much get you through the day on anything. You go there and you want to go get lunch, for instance, and they tell you today's special is roast beef, right, with mashed potatoes. And you say, I think I'll have the special, but could I change the mashed potatoes to tater tots? And what is tater tots? It's the second thing, right? First it's mashed potatoes, but you're thinking, I want tater tots. Now the first thing was mashed potatoes, right? But then you say, can I have tater tots? And if you use the formula again, equals MC squared, you go to the square part, and you look at that, and the waitress isn't thinking that. Most of the people sitting around aren't even thinking that. Some people think, holy crap, I didn't even know I could even get tater tots and ask for a second thing, but that's where the square comes in. Because basically what you're doing is you're taking what is already made in nature, mashed potatoes are made in nature, and tater tots are also potatoes, right? But they're different. And that's where the E equals MC square comes in. Because there, you're telling yourself, I want tater tots instead, and therefore the number 2 comes in, it's the square part, and the waitress says, no, I'm sorry, we do not substitute. Now you're really in a quandary now, okay? Because you're trying to think, you take your formula, and you say, why can't I switch? Why can't I have a substitute for the mashed potatoes? She said, I'm sorry, honey, it is what it is. And it brings us right back to what I started talking about in the first place. Number 2, it is IS, and then at the end, IS again. And I'm not saying it's the formula. I'm just saying it could be the formula. And it's really deep. And I know it's hard for people to comprehend, but if you just take some time and calm down and look at things, right, you'll start to see how nature and Albert Einstein work together. Did Einstein go fishing with worms? Did Einstein go fishing with fishing rods? Was he asked by a man? I don't know. Again, like the ancient alien thing, we have to ask ourselves, could it be that when the aliens came here, they created the worms and then created plastic? So when they made a fishing rod that somehow, some way, E equals MC squared would come into be? They're much more intelligent than we are. Do you think for 1 minute they were the only species in outer space? I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of different galaxies alone in the Milky Way galaxy. I'm guessing up to a billion quadrillion. Okay? Now, again, it's hard to comprehend a billion quadrillion. But if you take E equals MC squared, you take the M, you reverse it, and you put it on an E equals MCM, it doesn't work. But if you put 2 on there, it does because it says Milky Way. It's 2 words. Are you getting the concept now? You're seeing how it's working, right? Okay, so you got the Milky Way galaxy, right? With trillions and billions and billions of distant galaxies in there. So then, whenever you take the square, and you ask yourself, and you say, could it be, here again, you bright sweat back to number 2, which is square. I mean, it's not rocket science. Or is it? We have to ask ourselves, is it rocket science? And where do we get the rockets from? Did they disappear?
Well, sir, I mean, I'm asking you.
And trying to explain here again, now, you see I'm explaining it, and then you ask me, you're asking me to ask myself, that's the number 2, that's square. It all just makes full circle. But, like I say, it's probably a little too deep for people to understand right now. And maybe as time evolves, people will begin to grasp the concept that I'm talking about. And I know Albert Einstein wrote it, but maybe it's deeper than we can even imagine that E equals MC squared.
Sir, may I ask what you are writing down on that paper to help you comprehend what you're thinking right now?
The mathematical equations that I write, as I write them, they go into my mind. Do you see this pen right here? This pen is called a thought process pen. I don't want to tell everybody about it because it's not on the market yet. And there's so many patent thieves out there. Say I come up with this idea, and I tell you how the thought process pen works. And as I'm writing E equals MC squared, it's going into my brain, right? And it's going back out of my brain into the pen. And then it's going back into my brain again. But then if I told you exactly how it works, before I could get a patent on this and get this on the open market, because I don't have a lot of money. You go to apply for a job, they want to know your education, and I can't even put high school on there. That's why it's important to go to school and get a diploma, because technically right now, just between me and you, I've had a lot of requests to go to colleges and do, speeches and stuff like that in a classroom. But, I'm just too busy right now trying to figure out other things that are more important. Those people are going there, and that's fine. Does that answer the question? I hope so.
Okay, so may I ask you, what do you think about the political stuff right now? Stuff on CNN about Donald Trump.
I'm glad you brought that up, because not just on CNN, but a lot of the news stations and stuff, they bring that up. And, we have to ask ourselves, could it be that, Donald Trump, he's a good guy. We don't know that much about him, right? I know he's a businessman, and maybe he's not a politician, but yet somehow he got voted in to be the president. And the bottom line is he is the president of the United States. You know what I'm saying? So, he's doing what he can do, and then people laugh at him because he puts Twitter on there, on the computer, and he puts it on there, and then people are laughing at him by what he says. And do you know something? that makes people want to get up and start watching the news every day because they can't wait to see his Twitter, or they get on their computer and they go to their Twitter and they look it up and see what he says. Personally, I don't know the man. I don't know much about him. He's got nice hair, and he takes care of his hair. Imagine having getting up and taking care of that hair every morning. He probably has a staff that takes care of his hair. I don't know these things. Again, we have to ask ourselves, could it be that aliens, I hate to bring it up again, but following full circle, back to square, could it be that they maybe gave him that hair to think like that? Maybe underneath that hair, it's like this pen. It's a thought process hair. He puts that on as like a thinking cap. You ever have a teacher say, okay, students, put on our thinking caps? Where do you think that came from? I mean, come on, it's simple. You put on your thinking cap. It could be hair, it could be a pen. Do I put the pen on my hair? No, I don't. I sit here and I write and it goes back and forth. Now back to what the question you asked. What was the question again? Oh yes, political. I don't know. I'm not a politician, but he's not your average Joe. Maybe it's time that the country had someone different running the place instead of the same thing all the time. Even a dog gets tired of the same dog food. You know what I'm saying? Well, and that's normal.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
I'm glad you brought that up. I think you're starting to understand the concept now. And how did you get that? Right? Did it come from my pen? No, it did not, because this is to my brain. You asked two questions. And then the second question brought us full circle. E equals MC squared. It's right there in front of us. Pow! There it is. Wow! It's amazing. It's amazing. And what was the question again? My pen's running out of ink. I'm having a hard time with my thought processes.
So, the stuff you're telling me, what do you think all of this means, right now?
Well, right now it is what it is. And I hate that statement. It's very rhetorical. You know what rhetorical means? It means you're saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. It's very rhetorical. Like you tell somebody, oh my gosh, I was in my car and I had a wreck, and now I have no way to get to work. I have no way to get my kids to the babysitter. And, someone says, well, it is what it is. No shit, Willie, I already know that it is what it is. I know that already, okay? Instead of saying, well, did you need a ride? Did you need maybe for me to take your kids to school today? I could help you out. No, they just say it is what it is. We already know it is what it is. We already know that. Bringing us full circle back to again is. And you put that two together, MC square, that's why. ISIS. I'm not saying it is, but could it be, like I said, could it be? That's
what do you know about ISIS?
I don't know a lot about it. I know that it's not good right now. And if we look back in history, let's look back to all the ancient civilizations, I'm sure there was people that were very bad on this planet. Because you know why? Because it seems like people on Earth are always fighting about one thing or another. If there isn't anything going on, someone will start it, right? But that's what keeps everything going, because we are a species of chaos. I have to ask the question, could it be that when we were created, someone taught us how to have a war? And why are we always fighting all the time? Or, why can't everybody just get along? I don't know. I don't know that why. But, here again, it brings it back where somebody might say it is what it is. Right now I could just tell you, well, it is what it is, but then the interview would be totally stupid. Right now I'm trying to educate people. I'm trying to bring this out on the thing and just kind of get the concept of everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's how it is. You go to the grocery store, you put groceries in the basket, you take your groceries, you pay for them. E equals MC squared. You walk out of the store, you open your trunk, you put the groceries in your trunk. That's number 2. E equals MC squared. You get in your car and you drive home. Boom, there it is. The sun comes up, the sun goes down. E equals MC squared. It's dark, it's light. E equals MC squared. There's poo-poo, there's pee-pee. E equals MC squared. No matter how you look at it, there it is. Okay, it's simple, but it's very complicated and very deep at the same time. I'm not asking everybody if they can grasp it, because they can't. But maybe, just maybe, it could be that someday they will, and this will be a different place to live. But until that time, everybody can remember E equals MC squared and try to apply it to their life. You get dinner, right? You either pick it up with your hand or you use a fork to eat it. Sometimes you use a spoon. So there's a fork and a spoon. Do you eat with a knife? Not really. Some people do, but very rarely. Do you ever say, can I get a knife for my salad? Can I get a fork for my pudding? No. Why? You say, can I get a spoon for my soup? Can I get a fork for my salad? None. Poo. E equals MC squared.
Well, it is what it is. Some people very rarely might eat with knives. It is what it is.
Right, but we know that already. If you say it is what it is, we already know that. You ask me the dynamics of E equals MC squared. Let's break it down. E1 equals is number 2. Now, when you look at the equal sign, how many bars go across? 1?
2.
Bingo! There we go. There we go. E equals MC squared, even in equals. When you say E equals, right there, it's giving you the secret formula in 2 bars. Right? Look at ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. Look at all the ancient things they say. We think that it means this. We think that it means that. Could it be this? Could it be? But then you see equals. There's 2 things. That in itself is the dynamic of E equals MC squared, because when it says equals, it's 2 things, and then the number 2. Okay, and then you say, well, okay, but there's the equals and then there's number 2. That's 4, because 2 plus 2 is 4, right? But if you break 4 and break it in half, what is it? 2. Boom! There it is. It just, to me, in my brain, maybe it's the pen. I don't know. Like I said, I was homeschooled. My education's not. I don't have a piece of paper. I don't have a degree. But that doesn't mean that I'm not intelligent. Intelligence is a matter of awareness. Intelligence, you can learn something and know it, but when you experience something, you become aware of it. You know what I'm saying? So, some people are totally unaware, but they know things. And that's what I'm talking about. Awareness and knowledge. What is that? You take awareness and knowledge and you separate them. How many words do you have? 2. Awareness. Knowledge. Bingo! There it is right there. Me even just talking, it in itself is right. It equals MC squared.
So why... I gotta ask you a question that should have been asked at the beginning of the interview.
Okay.
What's going on with your eyes?
Right now, I am wearing patches over my eyes, right? Because I have to remain anonymous. Now, don't confuse that with the mask with the mustache on it, like Shakespeare play. Because that's not what I'm saying when I say anonymous. Because you know what? Probably after several people see this interview, somebody at Harvard or somewhere out there, maybe, even... MIT is going to call and say, this guy is onto something, all right? Now, either they're going to want to kill me or they want me to come over there and open up a new world for them. Maybe they're onto it already. You know what I'm saying? Maybe aliens from another planet will come here and we'll start the next generation of E equals MC squared. I don't know these things. I know nothing. I don't know anything about that. But that's why I want to be kind of, so somebody sees me on the street like this, then that guy looks kind of familiar to me. He looks like the guy that says E equals MC squared. But chances are they won't. Why? Because number 1, they're walking on the street. And when they're walking on the street, how many legs do you have?
2.
Right. And what is the equal sign? If you were to lay on your side and put your legs straight out, what would it look like? An equal sign. Right? Boom! E equals MC squared. I'm not saying it because people just don't grasp the whole concept of this yet. But I'm just trying to throw it out there. I could be totally wrong. I don't know. I'm just, throwing it out there. But I want you to apply E equals MC squared every time. You know what I mean? And you'll start seeing the big picture. Okay? You start seeing the big picture. So that's why I wear this, because I don't want people to know who I am right now.
Speaking of the big picture, what are you writing? Can you show the camera?
I cannot show the camera this right now because, like I told you, this pen is taking my thoughts, and as I'm speaking, I'm writing this down in an ancient Sumerian language, and people think that they know what it means, and that's fine. They can think what they want to because you can't capture someone's imagination. Okay, imagination belongs to you. They can't take your imagination away from you. All right. So whatever I'm imagining in this pen is coming from my brain and simultaneously going back up. Do you know what the word simultaneously means? That's at the same time. So if I showed you this paper and somebody could see the paper, then they might just take my whole concept and run off with it, right? And say that they thought of it. And I'm not saying I came up with E equals MC squared because Albert Einstein did that. And he was a famous scientist. And he came up with that idea. And so I'm not stealing it. I'm just trying to explain it a different way. And I could be wrong. I know that I could be wrong, but I don't think that I am. Any more questions?
Okay, so with all your secretness and stuff, so how much are you allowed to say?
Only what I can say right now. Why is there a question you want to ask me that might be treacherous?
Yes.
What would that question be, sir?
Okay, so with what do you know about ancient aliens?
I know they're ancient. I know that. And I think that's pretty obvious when people say they're ancient aliens. But let's look at the word ancient in itself. That means a long time ago, right? What I just told you 5 minutes ago is already ancient. You know what I'm saying? So let's say this video gets down to where they find this sometime like 2,000 years from now. And they think, look, there's an ancient alien sitting there talking, because, you know, we're evolving all the time. Maybe human beings won't look like this anymore. I'm not saying I'm a good-looking guy, okay? I'm just trying to get by like everybody else. A lot of times the chicks are hitting on me all the time. I don't have time for that right now. I'm trying to help the world, okay? Death comes later on in life. I'm not James Bond. No, I'm not, and I understand that. But, you know, what I'm trying to say is in the past, it's ancient. Now, that can also be detrimental because a lot of people keep looking back to the past. That's why history repeats itself. They won't let anything go. Yeah, but back then, you know, they started doing that to us, now we're doing it to them, and they just keep it going and going and going. You know, I don't know these things, but as far as the aliens go, they're probably watching this right now. And do they say, let's go back to the ancient video and look? Maybe when we say ancient aliens, that is discrimination. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't like to call them ancient. Maybe that's a bad word in their language. Why can't we just say aliens? Why do we have to label it and call it ancient? Like they're really old and all wrinkled up. You know what I mean? And maybe that hurts their feelings. And who's to say? We have to ask ourselves, what if they come back and like, you know, start messing with us and stuff because we're saying that? Or maybe, could it be, we have to ask ourselves, did they create the word ancient itself to start us to being prejudiced against people and labeling people? Here again, we don't know that. But it either is or it's not. And it is what it is, which brings us right back around to what I was talking. I hope that people can understand the concept if you're seeing it. I don't know these things. But ancient in itself could be a prejudiced word. Hey! Ancient guy, come over here, and you're going to find your ass in court, and you're going to get sued for it, all right? And is that going to be funny? No. Pretty soon at school, you won't be able to say ancient at all because it's a label, all right? You just say aliens or people. You don't have to say ancient aliens because it's not. It could mean something really bad in their language that they don't like. But human beings, for some reason, always have to label everything. You know, look at that old man. Look at that ugly person. This guy is not very smart. You know. Not very smart is 3 things, but if you take one word out of there, what do you have? 2 words. Is there any more questions?
Okay, so how much do you think you have said too much?
No, this concept, it's eternal. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Now, you take the number 8, for instance. You look at the number 8, and you turn it on its side. What does that mean? Does it mean something when it's sideways?
It means infinity.
It's right. Now, infinity is like the letter M. Part of E equals mc squared.
No,
if you took the... What?
Infinity has... I don't think it has anything to do with the letter M.
No, I'm talking about the letter E. If you take the E and turn it upside down, it's the letter M.
Yes, but infinity has...
But, you know, some people say it means eternity. And that's where the E comes in. E, eternity, equals mc squared. And if you say infinity, there is no I in team. That's why they say that. You ever thought about that? You're working somewhere, and you're trying to do a good job, and you say, you know what, you're not a team member. Right? And there is no I in team. That's where the I comes from, is infinity, not eternity, because they aren't getting the concept. Take that M and flip it up, it's E. E equals E, eternity. That's 2 things right there. Here again. Squared, E and E. Do you see? The formula in itself is mysterious. It's infinite.
Yes, but if you take the M and turn it another direction, it becomes a 3.
Or a W. Wow. W is the first letter of wow. Did you know that? That's right. And yeah, it could be the number 3, but isn't that backwards 3? But if you put it in the mirror, doesn't it turn around and make 3 the right direction?
Well, yes, but you're missing my concept here. What? Okay, so... do you think the number 3 has to do with anything?
Well, the 3, yeah, that's the 20s. There's 3 dynamic numbers in every mathematical formula. And Tesla, actually, Nikola Tesla proved that. 3, 6, and 9, right? 3 plus 3 is 6. You add another 3, it's 9. How many times does 9 go into 10? 1 time, right? So then you add a 0. How many times does 3 go into 10? 3 times equals 9. 10 take away 9 is 1. Add the 0.
So
it's infinite. It's infinity right there. That is. I'm glad you brought that up. You see what this is doing? You see now what I'm talking about? 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. 9 goes into 10 one time, and you add a 0, and you keep doing. It's infinite. You just keep doing the mathematical infinity. You know, that in itself it proves, number one, that this pen is working, and number two, that my formula, it comes right back around. Everything is all in that same concept. So yeah, 3, 6, and 9 are the formula. Now, you shouldn't be telling me this right now because I'm just trying to maybe help you understand, because this is all part of the formula I've been working on. And, you know, they're saying, how is that possible? You were homeschooled. And how can you even know these things? Maybe I'm taking E equals mc squared and combining it with the Tesla thing with 3, 6, and 9. And like I just told you, the formula, you can slow the tape down. Now, let me slow it down one time. 3, 6, 9. 9 goes into 10 one time. You bring it down. You add a 0. 9 goes into 10 one time. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You see what I'm saying? And it brings us full circle. Now, if you were to take that one, turn it sideways, and add another one, it's equals. You see that? Now we've got E equals. And the M upside down is 3 backwards. In the middle, it's straight. It's the formula. Do you see what the concept that it's just so profound. You know, and you're saying, well, that's just gibberish. Is it? Is it? I'm asking, is it gibberish? I don't think so. I think I'm on to something here. And I appreciate your time coming here. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so what can you not say about what you know?
I just won't say it.
So do you not know it, or what?
Oh, no, it's right here. It's in this pen. Now, see, technically, I have to walk this up every night. Because without this pen, would I be having these thoughts? I have to ask myself, did the aliens bring this pen for me? And just an ordinary Joe?
And where did you get the pen?
I can't divulge that information to her.
You can't?
No. Right now, I've given you too much already. 3, 6, and 9, showing how it goes in. It's infinity and Tesla. I shouldn't even have said anything already. Because, you know, that in itself, you know what the bad thing is that and people get intelligent information like this that has a propensity to build a bomb out of it for some reason.
So, should we end the interview then, since we've said way too much?
Well, no, let's just talk about something other than E equals mc squared, because I think I've given too much, and maybe somebody already knows all these things. I don't know. But no, we don't. If you want to end the interview, we can, and I can come back later. You know, it's up to you. Or you have one more question, perhaps, you would like to ask me before we conclude this interview?
Well, would you mind sharing your full name to the camera?
I could give you my code name, and that's Poo Poo Pee Pee. Okay? Because if you take Poo Poo and Pee Pee, what does it equal? 2 square. Because I could call myself square, but a lot of people probably think that dude's a square already. But I just go by Poo Poo Pee Pee if that's all right with you. Because it's something that people don't really remember, but it's something they do every day. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. There's almost 9 billion people on this earth, right? And most people clap or pee twice a day. Where does all that poop and pee go? I have no idea. Is it going into the water? Is it going out on the land and drying up? I don't know, but it's square. Even the human biological, you eat, you poop, you drink, you pee, right? There you go. The E equals mc squared. I can't just keep saying it over and over and over again, but you know that's just how it is. The sun comes up, the sun goes down. But my code name is Poo Poo Pee Pee, and I would like to keep it that way if that's all right. I'd like to be incognito for a while until people start grasping this and maybe want to ask me some questions. I'm open if someone wants to write in and ask a question about something, I will, but I will not give my pen away, and I will not tell you where it came from, and I'm just Poo Poo Pee Pee. That's all it is to it. And you know, if you want to ask a question, that's fine. But you know, not as far as the whole thing, I can't give all that away. I'm just giving you a taste of it to see if you can grasp it. And could it be that ancient aliens had me come here? Could I be an alien? I don't know. But maybe they talked me, and maybe and I can't say the aliens gave me the pen. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is maybe they're going through me to tell you to see the E equals mc squared, to think about it once in a while, maybe hoping that 9 billion people will start to understand and maybe change the world. Could you imagine that? I can imagine it. All you got to do is have an imagination and just think about things once in a while. You know what's really cool? It's reading a book. You know what a book is? It's the thing with paper, and it has information in it. I don't know if you've ever seen one, but you know, a long time ago they had books and people would read them. They're really cool. So anyway, you know, if there's any questions, you know, is there any more questions you would like to ask me, sir?
Do you think this would be a good time to end the interview?
I think so. I think I've given too much away already. You know, we began the interview, we're ending it. Square. Boom, that boom.